Quote, "The hoarded wealth of the miser who fails in his offices perishes." Meaning of the quote. This quote suggests that wealth, when kept only for oneself and not used responsibly, ultimately loses its value or purpose. The miser symbolizes someone who accumulates riches but fails to fulfill their offices, their duties, responsibilities, or the roles they are meant to play in life. Whether these offices are to family, community, or society at large, neglecting them transforms wealth from a blessing into a burden. The message is timeless. Selfish accumulation leads to eventual loss, while purposeful use brings growth, legacy, and meaning. Spiritual perspective. From a spiritual point of view, this quote speaks to the principle of flow and purpose. In many ancient wisdom traditions, wealth is seen not as a possession but as a sacred trust, meant to be used for the upliftment of self and others. Energy, whether material or emotional, must circulate. Like water that stagnates when it doesn't flow, wealth kept in a vault of fear and greed eventually becomes lifeless. The miser's mistake is not merely selfishness, but disconnection from their deeper purpose. A life lived only for accumulation lacks soul. We are stewards, not owners, and if we forget that, what we hoard becomes dust. Spiritually, we are reminded, use your gifts, or lose them. Scientific perspective. Scientifically, this quote aligns with principles of both economics and natural systems. Economics, money is a medium of exchange. When it's hoarded, it stops contributing to the economic cycle. It doesn't create jobs, opportunity, or growth. Economies thrive on circulation, not stagnation. Entropy and decay. In physics, closed systems tend toward disorder, entropy. A resource that is isolated and unused naturally degrades. This applies to food, energy, and even wealth, which loses value over time due to inflation, economic shifts, or societal change. Psychology, studies in behavioral science show that hoarding, especially when driven by fear, can lead to isolation, anxiety, and a diminished sense of well-being. Generosity, on the other hand, activates the brain's reward centers and leads to greater happiness. Let's bring this wisdom to life through a short story. In a faraway village, there lived a man named Karun who was known for his immense wealth, but even more for his stinginess. He lived in a massive stone house, but ate stale bread and wore old clothes. He refused to donate to schools or help the sick, even when begged. Years passed. The village grew, built hospitals, created jobs, and thrived. Without him, Karun died alone. When people entered his home, they found piles of gold under his floor, sealed away in iron boxes. But to their surprise, the coins were corroded and worthless, made of an alloy that degraded over time. The villagers shook their heads and walked away. In the end, Karun's name vanished from memory, while others who gave freely were honored in stories, parks, and the hearts of generations. How it applies to our everyday life. Your wealth is not just your money, it's your time, energy, knowledge, love, and compassion. When you share these gifts, you build relationships, trust, and legacy. If you're in a position of leadership or responsibility, whether as a parent, friend, teacher, or manager, fulfilling your role with generosity makes your life meaningful. Hoarding can take many forms: keeping skills to yourself, never helping others succeed, or isolating your success out of fear. These are all forms of failing in one's offices. In everyday life, this might mean mentoring a junior colleague, helping a neighbor, donating to a cause, or spending quality time with loved ones. It's not about giving everything away, it's about using what you have wisely and compassionately. That's how wealth multiplies, in impact, in joy, in legacy. Wealth unused, like water undrunk, evaporates. Give it purpose, or watch it vanish. Thank you for joining this exploration of wisdom. If this message resonated with you, like, share, and subscribe for more insights into timeless truths. Remember, every great journey begins with a single step, and every great idea begins with a strong foundation. See you in the next episode.